Okay, hello everybody. I'm gonna do another video for you to practice during the day, anytime you like, in your own time. It's a video number 4. So today we're gonna start off the mat, and I like to start actually in a kind of down or 4-point kneeling position, where you're gonna take your toes on the floor, heels pointing out, and you're stretching your wrists and your feet. So you're gonna push back onto your heels to stretch the back of your toes, and then shift your weight over your wrist so you feel the stretch at the back of the wrist. Watch the elbows not to overextend, but push through the big toe especially and feel the stretch at the back. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but just a few times and hopefully it gets each time better. Inhale over the wrist and exhale, push through the toe. Inhale over the wrist and exhale. One more time, and exhale as you push onto the toes. Then we're going to do a child pose position. So you're going to kind of turn your toes back and sit all the way to get the lower back opening. You can widen your knees apart if you need to, if it's more comfortable for you than sitting right on your thighs. And just push onto the shoulders. Take a breath in and feel the breath going into your rib cage. And as you breathe out, tighten the tummy slightly. Inhale and again inflate your rib cage. And as you breathe out through the mouth, gently allowing the breath to sink the body deeper and lower and more opening the lower back. One more breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to start rolling up to the sitting position on your heels if you can. If you have to stand on your knees instead, you'll be standing in your knees and rolling up in that position. But if you can, sit on your heels and roll up here. Bring your hands behind your back and push them down to your heels, like you're straightening your elbows. But more likely you open your chest, so try not to overextend your elbows. Just straighten them up and open the collarbones really wide. Look up if you can extend your neck and lengthen through the crown. Inhale. And as you exhale, start bringing your shoulders forward, elbows bending to the sides, and you get the round shape roll down position, and your hands are still joining behind your back. Pick up the spine slowly, vertebrae at a time. You just straightening your spine, pushing your arms down, lengthening through the crown, opening the collarbones, bringing your shoulder blades back. And again, one more time, round your shoulders, roll yourself down, round your back, feel the stretch on your lower back each time, and then slowly build up the spine to the lengthening position and push your arms for one more time. Open the collarbones and the chest. Bring your hands higher if possible for your flexibility, and lower them down. And just relax your arms down. We're going to get onto the sitting position now. Bringing your hands onto the front of your knees, sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, start moving away from your thighs. Your feet are staying on the floor and heavy to the mat. Pull yourself towards your legs and lengthen up the spine. As you exhale, roll away again. Pull yourself towards your thighs and lengthen the spine. We're going to sit up really tall, and we're going to bring the arms forward if possible. Rolling yourself away again without holding, and bringing your arms up and over, all the way to the floor perhaps if you can, if your shoulders allow you to. Hold it here and do a couple of breaths where you're working on sinking these ribs to the body so you can touch the floor at the back. Inhale. And as you exhale, feel like your last rib is reaching for the hip. And again, inhale. And as you exhale, feel that the ribs are moving further away from your head. Circle your arms and up through the ceiling and down to the sides, up to the ceiling and down to the sides. You do only as big circles as your shoulders will be able to. So if you need to make them smaller, of course you can, like you're drawing maybe circles onto the ceiling instead. But if you have the flexibility, go all the way around. Try to keep the rib cage, like we said, in your body so it doesn't lose the contact from the back to the floor. Bring your arms up to the ceiling now, palms facing in. Push your shoulders forward and then bring your shoulder blades back onto the floor. We do it with straight elbows without bending them, and keep movement in your upper back. One more time. From there, fold your hands behind your head, elbows in peripheral vision, and keep that contact between the head and the hands, and little press. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, tuck your chin and roll and start rolling into the chest raise. Hold that height, bring your hands onto your thighs if you can, and try to go a bit further. Hold that height, take another breath, and go even further. And then we're going to go down all the way to the floor. Bring your hands behind your head. As you exhale, tuck your chin, roll yourself up. Stay in the height, reach for your legs. Inhale, and a couple of times we're going to work on the deep flexion. And another one, and maybe higher off the floor. Bring your hands behind and roll yourself down. And again, behind your head, hold. Tuck your chin first, curl up. Reach for your legs, inhale. Exhale, curl deeper. Hold it high, don't go any backwards. And go again more, maybe higher. Hold your arms up, roll yourself up. So it's much harder not to have the hands behind the head. So if you need to, of course, you can do it instead. So I show you another one. You're going to bring the hands. And maybe if you want, you can bring your hands behind your head before you get down next time. Bring your arms along the body. Take a breath in. Keep your arms nice and heavy and bring the knee by knee up into the tabletop. And from here, stack your legs together and stretch out. Stretch your legs only as much as you can. We're going to work with the ankles. We're going to pull the toes towards the shin and press forward. Again, pull and press. And pull and press. And pull and press. And pull and press. So you're working on the ankle mobility and the stretch of the back of your Achilles, and at the same time on your hamstring, if you just draw the abdominal each time in a bit more. Now stay with the toes towards you, draw the abdominal in and pull your legs towards your face and then relax. Do this again and you go 1, 2 and return. When you do this one more time, reach your arms more firmly into the floor. 1, 2 and down. So what you start to feel is the tail and the back of your body comes off the floor. You give the pressure from your arms, but you also need to do the reach through the heels and starting to do the reverse curl. Breathe out and inhale. Some of you might be able to go further with me and you go over. So you push with your arms. Hands can be here if you need that. Reach your legs long. Even if you have short hamstrings, this should be quite possible in this reversed position. roll yourself down. If you need to bend your knees on the way, it's fine. Keep your head very heavy, lower yourself down, really trying to control it from your abdominal, and then we go away from the body and back in. Push with your arms and get into that position if you can, or with the hands. As you exhale, if you're stronger, keep your arms onto the floor. Keep your head, shoulder blades on the floor. Try to demand that. Go away from the body, keep them neutral, and push. We open the legs wider now, and we're gonna go with the wide V shape in your legs. From here, we're gonna do 2 circles. We circle the legs like we're drawing circles onto the ceiling, and then we draw them together. Heels pointing, reach over. Open, roll. Circle 1. Circle 2. Keep your shoulder blades on the floor and your head. Squeeze the legs together. Push. Maybe with the hands again. The hands can help immediately when you're coming up. 1 and 2. I show you that your hands will kind of help you to come up. Open to the V. Roll yourself down. Use the abdominal. Neck is relaxed. And then bend your knees here. I'd like you to bring your foot by foot back onto the mat. Spread your arms wider. Palms facing down. Legs together. Feet together. And then we're gonna move to the left perhaps, and the right hip peels off. You look to the opposite direction and return. So it's more a stretch right now. Inhale when you're stretching to the right, and exhale to bring it back. Shoulder blades, try not to peel them off the mat, keep them on the mat. And the one foot comes off the floor, in case you might wonder. So it comes with the knee on the knee, and the foot comes and peels off the floor. So it's almost like you're keeping your feet together at all times. One more. And we're just doing a warm-up for the next one, where we're gonna bring the knee by knee up into the tabletop. So we're gonna keep the arms spread out, holding onto the floor, shoulder blades are melted. Bring your knee by knee up. Now, try to keep the 90 degree at the knee bend, so is at the hip. And we're gonna now spiral from the waist, trying not to lean your legs onto the floor, only as far as you can without taking the shoulder blade off, and return. We breathe in. Again on the side, exhale to come back. Your head is turning to the opposite direction, and you're trying to get stay in the center without shifting too much to the side. Every breath out brings you back into that core control, but every breath in give you that stretch. And we're gonna get it a little higher level here now. We're gonna straighten the legs. If you're not able to do them all the way up, maybe bend them here, but try to keep always the knee over the hips. That is kind of not away from you, yeah? It's got to be quite vertical here. And so I'd like you to all stretch or slightly bend. Hold yourself on the floor, and we're gonna do this like a tick-tock movement, which is a bit faster, and we go from one hip to another pretty fast. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and you go tick-tock. Have the control in your waist, where you train the obliques, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, and it's quite a fast shift side to side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, and lower your legs down when you get to the center. Bring your knees in towards the chest. Give your lower back a bit stretch. So you can pull on your legs, pull the tail towards you so you feel a bit more stretch. And put your foot by foot back onto the mat. From here, I'd like you to straighten your legs, bring your arms up to the ceiling, and we're gonna roll up to the sitting position. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, roll yourself up to the sitting position and stretch for your feet. And then rolling down, vertebrae at a time, reaching those arms, getting to the floor, a vertebrae at a time. Piece by piece, try to peel it off. So it's not about how fast you're gonna sit up, it's about how you're gonna really articulate each part of your spine. So take your time. In a moment where you feel like your spine is not going to the floor, hold on to it, you know, and just try several breaths through that segment of your spine. So to develop this deep abdominal muscle in your core, and coming up. Ideally, we reach through the heels and toes are pointed towards you again. So you feel that you keep lengthening from the back of your legs each time. If you go up or you go down, still is the energy goes through your heels first before it comes over towards your feet from your crown of your head, yeah? So the energy goes out first before it goes away from your feet, same. And again, reach the energy through your heels to actually come up to this roll up sitting position. One more time. And up one more. And stay sitting nice and tall, because I like to do spinal twist. I'm going to turn towards the camera. The heels again, pronounced, toes towards you. Try to do only as much as you can. You can bend your knees if that gives you trouble to sit upright. I'm going to try to keep my stretch at the back of the hamstring and engage the lower abdominal more, where the hamstrings allow you to get more stretch. So bring your arms sideways. It's about your body, not about the arms going side to side. So concentrate more on your waist. 1, 2, 3, come back, 2, 3. Reach the arms like you're reaching them outwards, as well as you spiraling the spine. You're reaching the arms apart. So it's like a star shape. Both, let's say the energy goes through all directions. Hand to hand, energy to the crown, through the waist mainly. So lift through the waist rather than through the neck, I mean. And the legs, energy through your heels. And that way you might find your real flexibility each time you're breathing in and breathing out. And that's another one which helps you with the flexibility to improve. And we're gonna take the arms down. Now we're gonna take the V shape of the legs. If you need to have them bent, some people even need to have them crossed instead, because it's really irritating in the hips. So do whichever you can, or sit on something higher like a book. And we're gonna take it opposite direction, where you're also trying to get as much flexibility in this position as you can. Breathe out to reach. Inhale to lift. Exhale to reach. Look to the direction and reach for both arms. It's exactly the same principles. The energy comes through each side, through the crown of your head, through your each heel, leg, and those arms. And when you keep doing that with this breathing in and out, then you might find more of your flexibility. Take your time as well. Sometimes you just need to hold on to it a little bit more, and more breathing through the one position. So perhaps I show you this, that sometimes if you're really unflexible, you might hold it here and you take 2 breaths. So you go in and out and you reach further, take another breath in and out and reach even further, yeah? And then you come back and do the other side. And so perhaps some people do 2 repetitions and you do just the 1, but you get them more flexibility. Bring your arms down, and that's what you really want from it. So we're gonna go on all fours again, so 4-point kneeling position. Look down, you shouldn't see your feet. Keep nice and square, using your abdominal. We're gonna go thread the needle. So we're gonna take the arm under, keep the contact with the floor. You bending the other elbow for the kind of push up, and you keep the contact and really lie down on your shoulder if you can. Then you push with the arm, like a push up, and you open up here. Go again. And push. Breathe out on the push. We do 6. 3. And 4. Keep your hips over the knees. Try not to shift sideways too much. 5. 1 more. 6. And now the other side. So change over. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And take it back onto all fours. Now I'd like you to go to the downwards dog. So we're gonna turn the toes like at the beginning and press ourselves up through pushing your heels back and pressing through the shoulders to the downwards dog, A-shape position. And from here I'd like you to come up onto your toes and pull your heels up, and then you reach them back. So what we're looking for is flexibility at the ankle now, at the back of the ankle. If you can't reach the floor, don't worry. Not everybody has the Achilles long, you know, to get that far, but hopefully it improves each time. It's also about the front of your ankle. Think of the crease in the front of your ankle, and that might get you further. So each time crease it more. And from here, I'd like you to go into the plank, where you shift over your hands and keep the pelvis under tucking, so you use your abdominal. Push from your shoulders, reach. Again, heels up, push down. Heels up, push down. One more time to the plank. We're gonna go back into the plank. Just for a few seconds, take a one breath, open your shoulders here, make sure they're not slouching, and then push into the downwards dog. This time we're gonna go to a lunge. So you're gonna bring your right foot forward as much as you can, and then kneel down with the back leg. Push yourself up to this lunge looking position. The back of the knee is still on the floor and it needs to come off the floor. Take your hands onto the hips, bring your foot further forward if you need to, and try to press with the back toes to actually bring the knee up. And then you push all the way to the standing. You can bring that back foot closer. I feel like I need to bring it a bit closer here. So keep yourself up. We don't want to take that knee, front knee, over the toes. So we need to just go straight line down and press up. Straight line down and press up. Straight line down. And we do about 6, so 3 more. Push. And then you come back to the floor. Bring the knee bent. Take the other knee down and bring the foot into this previous position, quadruped. Let's push into the downwards dog. Push into the downward dog. Press from the shoulders into the plank. Coming over the wrists. Inhale. As you exhale, press up. And again, back to the plank. Take one breath here. And exhale, push through the shoulders. We're gonna go to that other lunge, other side lunge. So we're gonna bring that foot as far forward as possible. We lean the knee down, just making it a little easier. Press with that foot. Put it more forward if you need to. Take your hands onto the hips, find your balance. In case you need to hold onto something on the side. But if you try it without, it's a big challenge. Back foot is the key to push the heel off the floor. And now you may need to bring that foot a bit closer, but you are still on your toes. And you're standing tall, using the abdominal. And the direction is really feeling like you're going down. You bend the knee, but don't push it forward. You get the hip flexion. And press up. 1. And 2. We do 6. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. We're gonna go forward to touch the floor. Bend the knee and come onto the knee again. Push the foot back to get back on all fours. Now we stay on all fours. Opposite leg and opposite arm movement. Open your shoulders. Transfer the weight to the right hand and left knee and hover the others off the floor. This is where you want to really start with. Like, you want to be sure how you're distributing the weight between now the right hand and left knee and the middle, the sling from the right shoulder to the left, and how you're holding yourself there. And then you get a stretch out and go down, and try not to rest each time if you can. Do few. We're aiming for 6. But if you want to do less, it's fine. Or take your time and do 1 while we do 2. Just one more time. Hold it up there if you can. If you have to rest, and then come back again. We're going to shift the leg and arm. So I'm using the hamstring here to push the leg in alignment. And then we're shifting sideways. 1 and 2 and 3. And we aim for 6, 4, 5. Use the hamstring on the leg where you really feel the control, that the leg doesn't drop any lower at some point when you get more tired. So focusing on that fold at the back, it's quite crucial here. So now we're gonna do the other side. Transfer the weight into the left hand and right knee. Hover only those others off the floor, almost invisibly. It doesn't look like I lifted yet maybe, but it's slightly off the floor now. And then I'm controlling their weight and to stretch them and come back above the floor 6 times. Breathing out. Every time you get into the hamstring at the back of the leg. That's 6. Hold it here now. Keep the hamstring again, the fold feeling. Shift sideways away from your center. 2, 3. You're really just moving from your hip. 5, 6, and take it down. Take the stretch, child pose. Stretch your back, stretch your shoulders, rest your forehead. And roll yourself up. Now, I'd like you to bring yourself on your feet. Heels are off the floor, and you're gonna try to stand up into this kind of like squat position. So this is a full squat, but I'd like you to actually stay on the standing position when you press up and you stand. And from here, bring your arms down. If you have a band, put your band underneath of your feet. I'll use the band maybe. And if you don't have the band, you do it just without it, with those arms action, yeah? So maybe it's better for you to vision, you know, the band when you have the band. So you're holding on to the sides, and if you don't have it, don't worry, you don't need to. Because what we're gonna do is this squat few times, so the band hasn't got any function much right now, and we're trying to push the bottom back, knees staying over the ankles. Press. When you press yourself up, each time feel like you're using your glutes and back of your thighs and the front of your thighs. They do work in this position, so they should also work, but not only the quads. Lean yourself forward. If you don't hinge, if you stand up too much, the knees are pushed over the front, so you really need to hinge your body forward. Just watch the arch of your lower back. You want to have just natural curve. And then we're going to stay in that squat position. Squat only as far as you're comfortable. And we're going to pull the band. Now is the time where if you don't have the band resistance, don't worry. You just do it without. And if you do that video again, take some cans in your hand. Something weighted. If you have weights, instead. Keep your shoulders open. Keep the bottom, still kind of like open back, if you feel all the time. Zip up the abdominal, make sure that it's protecting the lower back from some kind of arching, too much arching on your lower back. Just one more time. And then come back. From here, I'm gonna kind of look forward now. If you have the band, if you have the weights in your hands or anything else, even without is possible. So you're gonna kind of reach the arm and then reach the other arm. And you do a side oblique. So you're gonna pull that up and pull that up and side bend. Try not to shift your weight too much into each leg. You're really trying to keep centered. One foot might get a little bit less weight, of course, just don't shift too much. One more. And stop there. I'm gonna turn again sideways because I'd like you to see where my elbows are when I'm doing the tricep extension. Again, can be done with the weights or with nothing in your hand. It will feel also working. We're going into that previous squat. We're bringing the elbows, arms back, elbows back. Hold them there and only push like this little finger, the kind of fist place. You're gonna push up and you're only bending at the elbows. And if you have a stretch band, of course, you've got more resistance. If you have something in your hand, it still gives you some resistance. Extend your elbow fully if you can. Do 3 more. Breathe out. 2. 1. So even if you didn't have anything and you just extended your arms back, you still work the tricep. And then we're gonna come back. So I just showed you that you can do it without. From here, step back so your mat is in the front of you and roll yourself down vertebrae at a time. Inhale, return. As you exhale, start coming up again. Stand up tall and roll yourself down vertebrae at a time. The weight is transferred to the ball of the feet, a little bit more than the heels. And relax your neck and arms and roll yourself up. Keep the weight in the front of your feet until your head is on the top and you need to transfer the weight 50-50. And again, roll down. Scoop from the tummy, have the lower back stretch as well. So keep your pelvis forward as long as possible. Gives you that nice stretch in the lower back. And come up vertebrae at a time. Last time. Roll yourself forward towards the downwards dog one more. And give that more stretch to your shoulders and ankle. Now I'd like you to bring your one, maybe the one which you face the camera, so the one away from the camera. Bring that foot towards the front and just get the other knee down. Coming back into the lunge position, yeah? And so take your hands to the floor and sit on their side, so you actually face the camera ideally. Stretch the leg out and bring that foot, you can see, more like this, so you have more knee forward pointing. And you feel that the hip is a bit more on the side. Bring your hand underneath your shoulder. Keep the shoulder pushing down gently. It's not like a lot, but keep the engagement underneath. And then press yourself up into the side bend. And we lower the hips, but we don't sit down and come up again. 2 and 3. The hand ideally will be aligned with your hip. So is the foot stretching out. Now stay up in the star shape and then lift the leg and kick it forward and back, forward and back, forward. And 3 more. Take that foot down and rest yourself. And stretch to the opposite side. You can always bend the knee if you need to. Transition, other side. So we're not gonna go downwards dog or anything here. We're just gonna get to the other hip. Your knees pointing forward again. The foot is more at the back. This foot is in alignment with your hip, and so is this hand with this other hip. So you kind of know that when you come up, it's gonna be aligned and not kind of zigzag position, where if you think of a building, you wouldn't be able to stand. So something like that. So push up. And you will feel this right now. If you feel that you're quite stable with the knee, shin, foot, and the hand underneath of that body supporting you. If it isn't, you go down on your hip and place the hand or foot somewhere in different position where you're more comfy. Otherwise we go up. And 2, 3. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, 1, and we stay in the star shape, and we're lifting the leg 1 and kick 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We do 6, 5, also back, 6. Take the foot down and lower yourself. Take the stretch to the opposite direction. Lovely. Lie down onto your back. Sorry, just need to check. Okay. Roll yourself back down. I was just checking the time. If you wonder why I came to the camera. And then bring your knees in towards the chest. I'd like to do this class for 45 minutes, okay? I try not to go too long. Bring your knee towards the chest, one knee. The other leg stretches up to the ceiling at first. And then we're gonna push the hands away, roll up, stay up really high, and then as the leg lowers, the other knee pulls, but we stay up with the chest looking actually down as much as we can and long, and we switch. And the switch is the crucial time where we may drop, and we don't want to drop, we want to stay there. So abdominal is very key in here. And we do for 8 breaths. 2 and 3, 4, 5. Pull the leg, make sure. Open the hip. 7. 1 more. 8. Bring yourself into this round shape position and just lie down for those 2 seconds for your neck. And we're gonna do rolling like a ball right now. So bring your hands again onto the front of your knees or the back of your thighs. This is easier, the back of the thighs, just to let you know if you're not flexible in your spine. And we roll up. Elbows are wide. It's like a round, like a rocking chair, like a basket as well, because if you look down, you see kind of like a shape of some kind of bowl or basket, and you keep that round because you need to keep the roundness all the time. Keep looking down, make sure your head is not floppy, going back and forward, what I usually see, happening. So keep your neck stiff as well as the rest of the spine, and use the abdominal in order to actually rock here. There's a pressure from the legs to the hands. If it's very low, if it's really hard, then it becomes like this really narrow shape of the ball, and you keep using the abdominal and rock and massage and breathe the spine. Let's come up sitting. So swing yourself up into the sitting position, and we do a little bit more here. We're gonna get to the rocker, which is part of the rolling like a ball, but just a little bit more intermediate, I suppose. We're gonna go a little bit lower to the abdominal part where you're engaging. So we're not sitting upright in a V shape, but we kind of a little U shape. Neither this, somewhere in between, yeah? So it's quite important not to be too slouched and not to be too straight right now. And you're gonna take the ankle from inside and balance here. So at the moment, the feet are together. You're pressing those elbows into the thighs. Some people are more flexible, can hold the heels, whatever it feels good for you. Take one leg out, stretch it, and maybe you don't have the flexibility, so you don't have to stretch the leg completely. You can just keep it slightly bent, but try your best if you can get at least close to that position. Now you need to really round the spine, and you're gonna rock there and back and go to that position. And it might tempt you to actually sit straight. Just go into the position, shoulders, use everything to keep the shape. Look down, don't look over to the back. Your head is not, again, floppy, or your neck. Keep the abdominal really engaged, especially when you're going to sit up and hold the position. I'm shaking. Exhale. Inhale. One more. You can bend your knees if you want to. This is easier, yeah? And take it down. Let's go to the teaser now. Feet are off the floor, you can see, and they will come onto the floor as you move away. Stretch your arms over your head, circle them around, roll yourself up, and here is the crucial time when you need your abdominal, and at the same time the leg or feet come off the floor. This is how it with the stretched legs. Harder, again, you've got to be in the lower abdominal, so your thighs not burning, and you go all the way stretching. These legs are really strong together, and to keep the lower back without arching. Yeah? So if you do stretch your legs, be sure that you're strong enough. And I'm holding my legs, so you're welcome to do that, because not holding them is another level and much harder. So I don't know if I can do that. I try. One. Probably I can give you one. But other ways with the bent knees. Let's do a couple more. Much more comfortable with those bent knees, where I know I'm 100% in my lower abdominal. So I do choose the one I can do the best. And then sometimes I try one or two in the one I'm not comfortable, obviously, to challenge. So you can do the same. Bring your feet underneath of your knees. Bring your arms nice and wide. And then I'd like you to bring your knee by knee up into the tabletop. Take your knee out to the side, or the leg out to the side, and bring that in. Do the same on the other. Inhale. exhale, return. Hips are staying on the floor, so they're nice and square. It's only the leg falls out, and you will feel the side abdominal obliques to be having a hard time if you keep the hips nicely on the floor. One more. And from here, I'd like you to bring your hands behind your head, elbows in peripheral vision. So I'm not going to give you much break. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, roll yourself up and do a crisscross where one leg is stretched and one knee goes towards you, like we've done before, but we were holding leg. But we going to peel that shoulder blade off the floor. Watch not to swing too much to the side. It's only a turn. And then the other. Let's do 8 breaths. 1, 2, flow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And bring your knees in. Relax your head. Relax. Take your foot by foot down. Stretch your full body now. And I'd like you to just roll over onto your tummy. Onto your tummy. Bring your hands below your forehead. Open your shoulders. As you exhale, push yourself away from the floor. The ribs are still on the mat, they don't come off yet. Bring your hands now wider, so you open them out just, and press yourself further now, so your ribs may come off the floor now. Now I'd like you to really relax your glutes and your hamstrings. It's gonna be hard. If you are more flexible, come up a little higher, but keep your glutes and legs completely relaxed. This is not a swan really, it's more to stretch your tummy from all the tummy exercises. So, you know, I can't call this a swan, it's more for the stretch. So relax the legs, relax the glutes. It's going to be hard to relax the glutes. Hopefully it's not going to hurt the lower back so much. In a way, if you stretch your hip flexors and your abdominal, the lower back actually starts to be released rather than bothered and painful. So if you do feel pull on the front of your tummy, your hip flexors more likely, the abdominal muscles is just too tight. So let that to stretch as well, and then slowly relax and do it one more time. Just really relax the legs, relax the glutes and the hamstrings, don't stretch them, just really pushing yourself up here and trying to stretch the front. And then roll down. But from here, I still want to do some extension, and that's the swimming, where we're gonna bring the arms nice stretched. And opposite leg, opposite arm is going to lift and reach. Is the reach more than the lift, so your hip in the front is open, and take it down. The bone structure of your pelvis doesn't come off the floor, just that you know that when you lift the leg, it's really just from the fold here to do from hamstring, and that bone is still on the floor. Maybe your thighs, the top lower thigh, it will lift, but more reaching than lifting, yeah? And then we do 1 and 2 and flow that, pressing the others on the floor and reaching, as I said, reaching more than lifting. We're very tempted to lift rather than reach out. Even I can kind of feel that sometimes, that I'm keep doing that, reaching rather than lifting. And we do all 4, stretch them out and paddle. Inhale, abdominal is engaged now. Faces off. One more breath. And lower yourself down. Relax your face to the side. And just breathing in and out. Relax the body. Take your head next to your shoulders. Push yourself up and give yourself the round back position like a cat. Stretch. Then lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale and round your back to stretch. And I'm shifting again from to the wrist and to the hips, yeah? So shifting and shifting to the hips. Let's go to the downwards dog. So again, turn your toes, push yourself up to the downwards dog. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, push through the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. And for the last time, we're going to bring one foot in the front, kneel down, and give ourselves the kneeling up position, and push, and bring the foot towards the other. Give your arms shake, and stretch yourself. Excellent. I'm going to kneel down. Okay, thank you very much for doing my video. Hopefully do it as much as you can and as often as you can. Okay, lovely, thank you, well done.